Bonjour and welcome to episode 20 of francofille Knits, a creative podcast. My name is Devin and this is where I document all of my fiber-related crafting and making. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry at bdevin. You can also find the podcast group the group for the podcast on Ravelry if you search francofille Knits in the groups tab. It's where I post my show notes and all other sorts of, there are birds flying around, this is exciting. All of the various podcast related threads and things like that for like knit-alongs and all that kind of good stuff. Let's see, a lot to talk about this week. Got a couple finished objects, which is nice. I haven't had one of those in a while. I've also got the prizes to announce for the CameoLocoKAL knit-along. And what else? A couple more whips to show you guys, and some general blather. So sit back, relax, and let's start talking knitting. Alright, let's start right away with the results of the CameoLocoKAL knit-along. So I actually did manage to finish my shawl, which is kind of exciting. I wasn't entirely sure if that was going to happen. You guys know the slump that I've been in recently, but it is not blocked yet. The ends still need to be woven in. Let me see if I can, excuse the earthquakes. Let's see if I can show you guys this. It's huge. So get the Loco Stardust down here, the striped section where it kind of blends with the Ominous Skies. Here, I'll flip it around. The Ominous Skies, which is from Beautiful Mess Yarn Works, and then that lace section, or I guess really more of an eyelet mesh section, which is also in that Beautiful Mess Yarn Works. Really thrilled with how it turned out. The combination of colorways is just absolutely perfect. I'll show it up. It's a little warm out right now for this, but I'll throw it on. I think it's a really good size, and I'm definitely going to get a lot of wear out of this. Like I said, it hasn't been blocked yet. I'll talk more about why that is at the end of the episode, but so perhaps not a true finished object in that sense, as I haven't blocked it or woven in ends, but I'm gonna count it finished for now. I'm gonna give myself that win. So I'm not the only one who finished a CameoLocoKAL shawl. I've got 3 projects to show you guys like I did a couple weeks ago. These are not all of the different finished objects from the finished object thread, but they're the ones that I got permission to show you guys. So they're just some absolutely awesome ones up there, so definitely go check that out. The thread is now locked. I locked it last night at midnight and drew prizes. I'll announce those in a second, but I wanted to start off by showing you guys a couple of the finished objects. So the first one, this one is by Yarn Girl 900, and she knit this out of Tanis Fiber Arts in Lilac and Manos del Uruguay in Inkwell, and turned out absolutely gorgeous. Super pretty, super wearable for sure. The second one here is by Callie Knit Pearl, who knit this out of Frabjous Fibers, Cheshire Cat in Tea Tray, and Knitted Wit in Naked, which is a bear yarn. And I love Frabjous Fibers. I've got a project I'm knitting out of that same stuff, but in a different colorway. I think this is really cool. Turned out great for sure. And then the last one is Turner Classic, who knit hers out of Loco in Glow Stick, which is that which is the lighter speckled colorway here, and then Madeline Tosh Edison Bulb, which is one of the most amazingly neon colorways I think I've ever seen. I know a couple podcasters have been using it recently, and I really love the pairing of the Edison Bulb with the Glow Stick. I think that's really fun. So couple gorgeous finished cameo shawls. So thank you everyone who participated. I know there were a couple people who were participating but didn't get to actually finish theirs. Definitely finish it up. I'm going to show you a finished object in a little bit that was supposed to be part of a knit along that I totally dropped the ball on. But yeah, finish up your shawls. They're fantastic and totally worth it. So yeah, let's talk some prizes for this one. So as you know, we were knitting the cameo shawl, but we were calling it the Cameo Loco knit along, right? Because we wanted to highlight Hue Loco yarn. And yeah, so one of the big prizes we've got to give away is a donation from Nicole of Hue Loco. She donated 2 skeins of yarn. And I think both of this combination here would make an awesome shawl, but really awesome anything. So you've got one here that is the Glitz sock, which is the same base that I used for my shawl. So it's just got a little bit of stellina in it. It's a little bit of extra sparkle. And this is the Puffin colorway, right? Really nice creamy yellow. And then the other one here is her Phyllis sock base, right? Which is an 80-20 merino nylon blend. I'm just trying to make sure everything doesn't blow away on me here real quick. Joys of working outside. It's just such a nice day out. I couldn't bear to stay inside and record. Alright, so Hue Loco there. Love this. And this is the Sagebrush colorway. Alright, and so this combo, this two pack, I guess, of yarn is going to, let's see here. So I did random.org for all of the drawings. It was easy to do for the finished object thread because I hadn't posted in that one at all, but I think in the chatter thread I drew myself at least 15 times. I think for the next knit along I'm going to stop chattering quite so much. Know that I support you guys and I will like leave the little love and agree sort of things. But yeah, so apparently I won all of the prizes for the chatter thread. No, I redrew. But anyway, that was a weird tangent. The person who is getting this awesome pack of yarn, this is going to actually Turner Classic, the one whose finished object we just saw, the Mad Tosh and Hue Loco combo. So that was post number 9. Very exciting. Second prize here we have is our Beautiful Mess Yarnworks prize pack. So I'm kind of giving away prizes from the dyers that I used for my own shawl. And here we've got an 80-20 blend, but this one is merino and silk. And I don't have the name of the base for this one, but it is her All the Feels colorway. Kind of see that. A little bit of crinkling. Again, just want to keep it nice and clean. Yep, right there, All the Feels, absolutely gorgeous. And then to go along with that, we've got a Notions Nanny, a little bag quilted here for all of your knitting notions. And this one is going to post number 6, which is Yarn Girl 900. So fantastic. So yeah, 2 of the finished objects we just saw, both winners. So you guys send me a message. I will get those to you. We've also got a couple prizes for the chatter thread as well. So the first one was donated by Melissa of the Spicy Homemaker podcast. And these are Progress Keepers from Sucre Miniatures. You see these here. We've got a tiny little croissant there, and then a little s'more. All right, so cute. I love these. I've been using my Progress Keeper from Sucre Miniatures, and I absolutely love it. These things they're substantial but light. Like, they don't weigh your knitting down. It's really cool. And so this is going to post number 17, which is Left Hand Lass. What else did I want to say? Oh, right. Remember, guys, you guys also have that coupon code for Left Hand Lass yarn too. I think it's 15% off if you use francofille. I think it's francofille, and that's now until I think the end of June. That's in the show notes from 2 episodes ago, I want to say. Episode 18. So yeah, gorgeous yarn. Check out her stuff, and congratulations. Send me a message, I'll get that mailed out to you. And then the last one, because there was such good chatter going on in the thread, I decided to add on one more prize. So I'm going to give away a copy of my embroidered shawl pattern. And this goes to number 23, post number 23, who is This Piano Girl. So again, send me a message on Ravelry and I'll get that just sent to you through Ravelry. Nice and easy. Alright, so yeah, thank you so much everybody for participating. Please excuse the hair just blowing in my face. But yeah, so fantastic. Super excited about all of your posts, all of your projects. They all turned out amazing. So thank you so much for participating. What else? We've got another knit along going on now until the end of the summer. So I think I said Labor Day was the day I was going to close this one down. And yeah, if you're interested in donating prizes or anything like that, get in touch with me. I've got a couple things already lined up, but yeah, the more the merrier, absolutely. I'll talk more about that knit along in a minute when I talk about what I started for it. So moving on to other finished objects. Yeah, I just mentioned how one of my finished objects this week was something I had started for a knit along that I didn't finish in time. I don't think I even posted in the chatter thread for that one. I'm really bad at that. Yeah. Iced coffee from Starbucks today. Again, running around mailing things. Treating myself to coffee. It's kind of the reward for going to the post office. But yeah, so my little Elijah the elephant is finally done. This was supposed to be part of the Legacy Knits Stuffy Along for the month of April. Today is June 1st. Better late than never, right? I may not be eligible for a prize, but little Elijah's a prize in and of himself, right? Isn't he cute? He looks like he just wants to hug you. I like him a lot. So yeah, he turned out better than I even expected. I will admit it was a little bit of a beast. I know why I put it down. It took me so long. It was a bit of a beast picking up stitches and knitting, adding on the arms and legs and ears. Just the nature of knitting on DPNs that close to something solid, kind of hurt my hands a little bit, but I wanted him done. He was too cute to just stay a UFO. But yeah, he's not entirely done because you can see he has no eyes. Poor little buddy needs some eyes, and I'm still going back and forth between whether I want to do embroidered eyes, which is what the pattern calls for. Oh, I'll probably tell you what pattern it is. The pattern is Elijah the Elephant by Isolde Teague, and it's a brilliant pattern, super clear, great instructions. The construction on this is really interesting and fun. I knit it out of CameoLocoKAL DK, and I think the colorway is Firestorm. I think she's changed the name of the colorway since I bought it. I don't know what it is now, but it's this really cool sort of gray and orange, right? I think he just turned out so cute. But yeah, so I need to add on some eyes, and I'm going back and forth. I think buttons would be really cute, but as people on Instagram pointed out, if I'm actually going to give him to a small child at some point, those are choking hazards, as they will eat the buttons off his face. So embroidered would look cute too. I just have to figure out how to do it. I've never done a French knot before, but at least it won't be a safety hazard for a small child who may end up with little Elijah at some point. But yeah, and he's cute. I love his little ears. He's just so happy. So yeah, finished object number 2 this week. First one was my cameo shawl, then a little Elijah. The third, guys, I have 3 finished objects. This never happens. My third finished object this week is my hashtag walk and knit socks, right? I had one done last week. I think it was, yes, this one was done last week, right? You've seen this one. Did this one this week, right? And you can see they're not perfectly matched. I did not take the time to start the next ball on the same part of the stripe. I just wanted to knit, to be completely honest. It was laziness on my part, and That's all I've got to say about that. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way they turned out. These are for my sister-in-law who always has cold feet, so get her some handmade wool socks. Yeah, I think I said everything I wanted to say about Felici, or this ball of Felici anyway. This Felici colorway last time. But yeah, just a couple more details. Knit them top down, did a nice long 2x2 cuff. Long for me anyway. I usually do like 12 rows. This is double that. Fish lips kiss heel, just a normal toe decrease. Or at least what's normal for me. Apparently not everybody's normal toes are the same. It's a wedge toe, I guess. And I do 4 decreases every other round, the entire toe. I guess some people increase the frequency of the decreases or something like that. I just keep it simple, so it does end up looking very triangular. And then just Kitchener stitch right at the end there. I discovered this week, I'd Kitchenered so many things this week that I finally have it down so I don't have to look it up every time. 10 years of knitting socks and I still had to look up Kitchener's, like how to Kitchener every single time. But whatever, it's memorized now, that's what matters. But yeah, so these are done. So yeah, lots of finished objects. I think just with the move coming up and everything, I just want to clear my needles as much as I can and get on to, I don't know, new things. I don't know. I had been suffering from a little bit of knitting ennui, let's say, or as KT of Inside Number 23 put it, a knitting schlump. I was definitely experiencing that schlump, where everything just felt like an obligation, and it kind of takes the fun out of your knitting, right? But everything just feels like something you have to get done, not something you want to be working on. But whatever. Let's see. So in terms of works in progress, these are actually things you haven't seen either at all before, or it's been several weeks, so yay, new content. That doesn't happen too terribly often for me recently. But yeah, let's start with the design project. This is, it's been a couple episodes. It's been a couple weeks since I last showed you guys this one. A couple weeks ago I did the Initiate Design Challenge, I think is what it was called, by Françoise of Aroha Knits. And so this, I still don't have a name for this pattern, but it is going to be a triangular shawl, right? That is inspired kind of by the rolling hills and vineyards landscaped of the Champagne region of France, right? So you get some garter stitch going on, some cool lace stripes that work on the diagonal. You can see my Sucre miniature progress keeper. There it is, my little cup of coffee. Just hanging out there. And yeah, that's hanging out where I last showed it to you guys. So I haven't gotten a ton more done. I've gotten probably another 20 rows or so done. So slowly but surely, but I only picked this up again, I think a night ago or something like that. So yeah, it knits up quick. I'm making notes every single row. This pattern will eventually be available. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do the instructions, to be honest, rather than write out the instructions for every single row. But yeah, we'll see. I may need some more tech editing help on this one, if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, there it is. You can kind of see all that I've got there. Get a little closer. Yeah, really love this one. This is actually really fun to knit. The lace repeat is actually really simple. I think it's like a 4-row repeat or something like that. It's really not challenging. If anything, the challenging part would be the construction, and even that's not that terribly challenging. So it looks more complicated than it really is, which I think is always fun for a shawl. I would rather they look challenging but be simple to knit than look simple but be super challenging. Both definitely exist. But yeah, interesting enough to stay engaged, not so interesting that you can't do anything else while you're working on it. Which, I don't know, is exactly what I want out of a shawl anyway, so that's good because I'm the one making it up. Yeah, just leave it in a project bag. That one is, may as well pull it back out to tell you a little bit about the yarn and stuff that I'm using. This is the rest of my Frabjous Fibers Goat's Beard colorway that I used. I used most of a skein for my Waiting for Rain shawl, right, where I did the 2-color Waiting for Rain. So I had 2 skeins of one of the colorways, the Goat's Beard, because I was gonna do, which shawl? I think I was gonna do the Solaris shawl with this, and then ended up repurposing it, and now I'm going to use this for my design. And I really love this. It's a light fingering for sure. I think it's 512 yards for 115 grams, so definitely a lighter fingering weight, which would probably not be awesome for socks, but for shawls it's absolutely perfect. Really nice and light and airy and drapey. And then I'm knitting it on more Knit Picks interchangeables, my favorite. You guys know how I do. Right, a couple metal ones, pointy enough without being stabby. And these are US size 4. So, yep, nothing too crazy. Just got my little pile growing over here. Alright, my last whip to show you guys this week is for my Summer of Sock Yarn knit along. So that one started Memorial Day, so Monday. Today is Wednesday. And I was in the process of like finishing a bunch of the different projects and realized at like 10 o'clock on Monday that I hadn't cast anything on yet for the Summer of Sock Yarn. And decided that I wanted to cast on right away for it, even though it's literally running until Labor Day, and I can't win anything, but whatever. I want to participate, I want to play along. So yeah, so I cast on something fun, and rather than, you know, just pick any of the random sock yarns that I've got in my stash, and I do have a ton, I decided to play with a sock blank, which I've never done before. Right, I got this really awesome sock blank when I went to Yarn Con back in April, and part of the motivation for me using the sock blank right now is that I've been playing around dyeing up some sock blanks, which I did not bring outside with me. I may go grab them later to show you guys, but maybe not. Maybe I'll save them for next week. But yeah, so I've been playing around with them and kind of getting an idea of how sock blanks knit up and all that, or at least trying to figure out how what I'm dyeing would end up knitting up. So I decided to pull out the sock blank that I actually have to kind of give myself a little bit more reference on that. And I'm doing some 2 at a time socks. I'm gonna move them a little closer together, which may surprise some of you, because I think last time I did this on the podcast I said I would never do it again. Never say never, friends. Like, it's a cliche for a reason. But I kind of have to in order to do this sock blank, right? Because the sock blank is made with fingering weight yarn held double, right? So you can kind of see that as I unravel, there's two threads. Wow. Yeah, the yarn was held double, so there's 2 here, 2 ends as I pull. So I was either gonna knit them one at a time and have to roll one into a ball as I knit one, which just sounded like a huge pain. So it's gonna be a little bit of a pain either way, and I just figured I will try 2 at a time socks one more time. It's fiddly, but it's not as bad as it was the first time. I think the first time you do any technique, it's probably the most annoying it's gonna be, and it just gets better after that because you have experience with it, right? So it's easier, you know what to expect. But yeah, and holding the yarn double for a sock blank makes sense, right? Because it's probably the closest to identical socks you can get with a sock blank, right? With other sock blanks, it'll be just one piece of yarn, and the sock blank will probably be, in fact, I know it's about twice as long as this, right? And so you knit one sock from the top half, and then the second sock from the bottom half, right? With a standard sock blank. So depending on how it's tied up, they could be wildly different or they could be fairly similar, right? With this one, you know, holding them double, you've got the best chances of them best chances of both socks looking fairly similar, looking very consistent. So that was why I picked out this sock blank, even though I knew I'm not a huge fan of knitting 2 at a time socks, but they're kind of cool. And again, I really have no expectations for how this is going to knit up, so we shall see. The colors are really cool. You can see that as I go across the row, I pick up a little bit of blue, a little dark green, some yellow, right? Just get a little bit of everything in every row, and that's kind of fun with the striping here. I think it'll be easier to see how it's knitting up once I get into the plain stockinette section, but I gotta say, I have been converted to long 2x2 cuffs. Despite all of my unreasonable issues with the Mrs. Weasley's family sock pattern, which again, not the pattern's fault, 100% not Molly's fault, because it is a very, very simple and clearly written pattern. I just am overthinking it or something, or not paying enough attention. That's the key. What am I saying? Yeah, I used to prefer 1x1 ribbing and doing it really, really short, but I actually am learning to love longer ribbing on socks and 2x2. So nice and stretchy, nice and long. I think I'm gonna do a couple more rows of ribbing. I want to get to about 25 rows of ribbing, and then I'll go on to the rest of the sock. And there's plenty of yarn in this sock blank for me to get a nice long cuff on my sock. The sock blank, like I said, I got at YarnCon back in April. Really excited for that teal, look at that. And it is by, is it the Fairy Yarn Mother, who I was looking to see if I could find a store for her online for you guys, but it doesn't look like she sells stuff online, just at like sort of regional craft fairs and things like that. So if you're in the Midwest, yeah, check her out online. If you just Google Fairy Yarn Mother, you'll kind of get a list of her upcoming the upcoming shows where she's vending at, and she's also apparently teaching classes and stuff. I may have stalked her just a little bit, or by stalk I mean I googled her website. But yeah, check her out. She's really cool and really helpful. We talked spinning for a little while too, so yeah, check her out. All right. Oh yeah, I should probably give a couple details. Guys, I'm so scattered today. My goodness, being outside, the sun is just getting to me. So the sock blank socks, right? Like I said, were for my first project for the Summer of Sock Yarn, which is the knit along that I'm running from now until Labor Day, and really a fairly straightforward knit along. Just anything you knit out of sock yarn from now until Labor Day totally counts. I'm being fairly flexible with what I consider sock yarn too. Definitely any fingering weight yarn, I will say, will totally count for that. No need for nylon or anything like that. And then also any socks you make, regardless of whether they're fingering weight or not. So if you decide you want bulky or worsted weight socks, go for it. Totally counts. I'll count it. But yeah, and just post as many projects as you want. Hashtag SOSYKAL. Yeah, if you post anything to Instagram, I'd love to see what you're working on. The last thing to show you in terms of works in progress. So I have finally, after putting it off for so long, resisting the urge, I've decided to join the stitching revolution, right? Which is, maybe you don't need an explanation of what it is, but in case you do, Sue of the Legacy Knits podcast, and she does a lot of periscoping as Knit24. Has decided to sort of reinvigorate cross stitching amongst knitters, and yeah, uses the hashtag stitchingrevolution, and just kind of encouraging everybody to break out their cross stitching and things like that. Give it a try. And a little windy, things are getting away from me. Cross stitching was definitely my sort of entrance into all things like fiber arts related. I think they're kind of tangentially related, right? Cross stitching and embroidery and knitting. I started, like a lot of people, I started with cross stitching and needlepoint and things like that when I was in elementary school. I think it was like in 2nd grade. I remember my first like cross stitching kit or whatever must have been worsted weight yarn and these big hefty like plastic mesh grid things that had the different colors already painted on it, so you just kind of stitched over the plastic. Yeah, I just really wanted to learn how. My mom is not a crafty person at all and was very confused as to why her daughter wanted to learn how to do this, but she was a sport and got it for me, and I was kind of hooked. And yeah, cross-stitched a lot in middle school too. Super cool kit here. Oh yeah. I had a friend who we would go to Walmart and get like the $1 or like $2 cross-stitch kits and go sit in the park and cross-stitch during the summer. Yeah, we were super cool. And I don't know what happened to any of those projects. I think my mom may have tossed them, or I may have tossed them when I was in high school. A little sad, but they were silly little things anyway. Yeah, and then put it down forever, and picked it back up a couple years ago and put it right back down because my cats were kittens then, and they were very intrigued by all of the string, and Lucy likes to eat basically anything that's not actually food. So rather than risk her, you know, giving herself some sort of blockage and killing herself because she ate embroidery floss, I decided to just pack up the cross-stitching. Yarn knitting was enough. That was harder for her to eat, so yeah. But I decided finally, I don't know, something about buying the new house and wanting to like decorate it made me want to pull out cross-stitching again. So a whole lot of explanation for the project that I'm about to show you, and I just realized I don't have my iPad out here, so I can't show you a full color picture, but you can kind of see from this black and white that I've got here. This is really pretty. It's actually a single color embroidery sort of cross-stitch piece. Right. My pattern is by Modern Folk, who is on Etsy. Really cool store. Really cool Etsy shop. If you guys are looking for sort of more traditional embroidery, sorry, all of a sudden got really windy and that distracted me. Yeah, really traditional stuff. A lot of what his patterns are based on are like historical English and Scandinavian cross-stitch embroidery things. I'm sounding super intelligent about this right now. Yeah, I think I must have spent hours just kind of randomly scrolling through Etsy, as you do, until I found exactly what called to me. So yeah, I'm doing a single color piece, and it's gonna go, I think, eventually in the entryway in our new house. Right, so it's kind of all bunched up here. I'm using, I don't even know if this is appropriate or not, but I'm using binder clips to hold some of this extra fabric together, just kind of out of my way. But yeah, so that is what I have gotten done so far. Yeah, it goes like that. Somebody pointed out on Instagram last night when I posted a picture of it that if you hold it like that, it was kind of looking like an evil face. So I have since embroidered more on so it looks less like a face. But yeah, it'll go like that. I'm really pleased with this. I'm having so much fun. Jordan 100% started making fun of me because I don't have them with me. So it's tiny. I think it's 32 count linen, right? And I'm using this thread just held singly, right? Just one thread. And so it's really fine work, and I am even knitting like lace weight is not this small and detailed, you know what I mean? So to help myself out with that, I decided I've got a pair of reading glasses from a couple years ago when I was working on my dissertation and wore contacts more regularly. There's all of the close reading and hours and hours and hours of reading kind of hurt my eyes. So I would wear reading glasses to like lessen the strain, but I don't normally need them. It was really just kind of, yeah, to lessen the strain on my eyes. So I don't really wear contacts anymore. So I just decided to wear the reading glasses over my normal glasses. Styling, guys. I think this is the downside of working from home and not leaving the house except to run to Starbucks and the post office. Yeah, so I was wearing that. I was wearing the reading glasses over my normal glasses and working on the cross stitch when Jordan came home from work last night. He's just like, "You're really just full on grandma now, huh?" Yeah, a little bit. I can't even deny that. But hey, it makes me happy, so I can't be too upset about it. But yeah, I think this is gonna be really cool. If you are, I guess, interested in anything else, 32 count linen, and then using DMC floss, right, fairly standard, and I guess the colorway number is 161, so it's just kind of a nice, like, Wedgwood blue kind of color. Did they give them names? I haven't used this stuff in so long. I guess not. Yeah, it's kind of a fun little throwback for me though. So I'm having a ton of fun with this. And Jordan's other comment about this was just like, why are you not knitting? Like, get back to your knitting. I never expected to hear the day where he was encouraging me to knit instead of doing something else, so yeah. You know, and so yeah, I may have stayed up till 3 a.m. last night stitching. It happens. You know. I will go to bed earlier tonight. Hopefully. Yeah, so I'm working on that. And the sock blank socks. Got a couple other whips that I haven't worked on this week but are kind of hanging out by my couch. Yeah, I'm trying to keep, let's move on to blather. I'm kind of just naturally segueing into blather. So if you guys have been watching the podcast, you know that we are in the process of buying a house and moving and all that kind of fun stuff. We closed on the house Friday, so that was really exciting and fun. Yeah, that was, really nice, really sweet. The current owners of the house are fantastic, so yeah, it was, just I don't want to say too much, but whatever. So that's happening. I'm probably going to start moving in the next couple weeks or so, so I've been starting up with packing and everything like that, and most of my stash is packed up now. My blocking tools are packed up, and the guest bedroom in our current house, which is where I do most of my blocking and where my stash and spinning wheel and all that stuff lives, is where we're kind of storing all the boxes and clothes and stuff that we've packed up. So unfortunately, it means that blocking my projects for the next couple weeks is going to be difficult. So lots of socks to be knit in the next couple weeks since they don't need blocking. But yeah, so that's all going on. Definitely exciting. I'm so antsy, guys. My clothes are all packed up. I'm already living out of like a laundry basket. Like I said, most of my stash is already packed up. of course I left some of the stuff unpacked. The stuff that normally lives in the living room is still there. But yeah. So yeah, that's all coming up soon, which is really kind of crazy and exciting. It's a little anticlimactic to close on a house, to purchase a house, and then not be able to move in right away. It doesn't quite feel real, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, 30 days is not that long. And we may move in sooner than that. We'll see. But sorry for the earthquake, just scooting back. What else? Nothing to show you guys new in terms of dyeing this week. I was not necessarily smart about the timing of when I'm recording the podcast and when I did my Etsy store update, because everything that was new that I had to show you has already sold, which is almost a humble brag. Guys, the response from you guys with the Etsy store and everything is just absolutely like humbling. I am like so incredibly grateful and touched and excited about it. Yeah, I feel like anything that I say in terms of thanking you guys for your support and everything, it's gonna come off as insincere. So I've discovered I have that problem where it's sincere. When I'm being sincere, it doesn't actually read as sincere. It's a personal problem I need to work on. But like, it really just makes me incredibly giddy that I'm getting to do something that I really enjoy, and you guys are excited about it too. So thank you so much. I'm actually, like, I think I've got like 2 skeins or so. No, I've got more than that. I've got like a handful of skeins left that are bare to dye up for any orders that may come in over the next day or two. But luckily I've got more yarn coming in tomorrow. So I've already kind of gone through my first giant wholesale order. That's all basically gone to good homes at this point. So yeah, more coming. For those of you who reached out about wanting lace weight yarn, I did get some of that in the current order that's coming in tomorrow. So yeah, just touch base with me one more time about colorways that you're interested in and things like that. We'll chat. Yeah, I may end up restructuring the format of the Etsy store just so that it's kind of clearer what bases are available, what colorways are available, that kind of stuff. Because I think, yeah, whatever. Probably not worth discussing on the podcast. But anyway, yeah, lots of fun stuff. And the other thing is, like, Jordan's at a conference this weekend. Today's Wednesday. He left already. So from now until Sunday night, I'm all by my lonesome in the house. Which, you know, at first I thought about, like, ooh, what am I gonna get up to? And I thought about it and realized nothing wild or crazy. I'm gonna sit in my house and knit and cross stitch and dye yarn. And it's gonna be a fantastic weekend. But it's nothing that I wouldn't normally be doing anyway. I may get crazy and watch some podcasts on the big TV instead of on my computer, because it won't be disturbing anyone else. I know, I'm pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what's going on with me. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Probably because I'm not actually showing you guys anything new that I've dyed. Yeah, like I said, I've been playing around with sock blanks, dyeing those up more. There was one where it didn't turn out quite how I wanted because I didn't add enough thickening agent to one of the dyes, but it still turned out really cool. I may end up keeping it for myself because it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted. But if you follow me on Instagram, I'll put up pictures soon. Yeah, who knows? I think I am 100% just babbling at this point, and it looks like I've gone over everything in my show notes. So I may as well yeah, leave you off here. For all the winners from the Cameo Loco shawl knit along, yeah, Cameo Loco knit along. Whew. Make sure you contact me on Ravelry, or send me an email. That works too if you want. And it's francofilleknits@gmail.com. Although, yeah, you're all on Ravelry. Obviously, that's how you won. I may need to take a nap and get out of the sun. I think that may be part of the issue. Yeah, send me a message and I'll get these all shipped off to you. Other than that, yeah, happy knitting, bon tricot, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.